Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss the character of Deputy Frank Hawkins. Now knowing that he survived the events of Halloween 2018 and was recovering in the hospital during the events of Halloween Kills, it leaves us with the question of what will we see of his character in Halloween Ends. And I suspect we will see a lot more from him than many may think. Let's go. So while I was preparing to make this video, I decided to look at some of the news outlets to check the pulse of this theory in the Halloween community and see who else might be along the same lines I am when it comes to thinking about Hawkins for Halloween Ends. And I came across an article from CBR.com from a few months ago, and it expressed many of the same thoughts that have been on my mind for quite some time now. So I decided to include some of its commentary in here as well. So let's go ahead and just start right there, and then I'll just unpack it from there. Now the headline reads, Halloween Ends, main hero won't be Laurie or Allison, and here's why. And the article mentions, talking about Frank Hawkins here, it says, Halloween Kills reveals that he, Frank Hawkins, came close to killing the slasher at his childhood home on the night of the massacre in 1978, only barely missing the villain on several occasions. However, when the cops capture Michael and Dr. Loomis is about to put a bullet through his head, Frank stopped him. As he tells Laurie in the present, he couldn't let them commit this savage act because Michael was just a kid in a man's body. But this sympathy means he paved the way for Michael to survive and murder. So I'll just stop right here. And this is where things get so interesting, is because when Halloween 2018 ends, I was of the assumption Hawkins was dead. I really did. I did not think he was we were going to see him alive again. And so in my mind, when Halloween Kills begins, I'm not expecting to see Hawkins alive. And when he's discovered alive and he's eventually put in the hospital, I thought to myself, okay, I love this. First of all, this is fantastic. And this whole intro, the entire flashback intro that is so Hawkins centric. It's basically Hawkins' story is what it is. The whole 78 flashback scene in Kills is basically a mini story for Frank Hawkins, Deputy Hawkins. And I'm like, okay, they spent a lot of time laying groundwork here for Hawkins for his arc, for his story. And then we find he's alive, he's in the hospital, he's recovering, he's going to be okay. And now we have him alive. So David Gordon Green has written Hawkins not only to survive the movie, but he gives us this incredible unknown backstory of how Hawkins literally stopped Michael Myers from being killed by Dr. Loomis. New information. And so we have this, but I think to myself, you don't do that without having a reason. There is an arc. There is a purpose to this content. There's more to the story, as they say. And so it was just interesting to me. And when the movie ended, I began thinking to myself, wow, Hawkins is alive. He's got this incredible backstory experience, tragic as well, because he kills his partner accidentally, which was terrible. But this experience with Michael Myers, where in one moment he's trying to kill Myers, and then just a little bit later he's trying to prevent his death as he's there and everyone's surrounding him, and he makes this comment about how Michael's just a kid in a man's body and he couldn't do it. But basically now, think about all that's on his mind here. I mean, all these deaths that are occurring here are all because ultimately he let him survive. But that's a whole moral dilemma that we'll save for another day on that question. But for this video, and my purpose is here is to share this theory of where I think things are going. because again, I don't believe it was a throwaway. So let's see what else the article has to say, because again, it's really setting up where we're heading here. So next up we see, it says, in that sense, Frank's guilt can only be assuaged if he helps set up his downfall. That's not to say that he needs to get the kill shot to finish the fiend, as that seems more likely to go to one of the remaining Strodes. But it's easy to see a scenario where Frank talks to Michael at a key juncture or distracts the killer to set up a trap. So I'll stop there. Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is hitting on what I was already thinking about as well, because in my mind, there's no way in my mind that's not Laurie or Allison that kills Michael. If Michael, again, I'm gonna say if Michael dies. I mean, there's some ambiguity now after Jamie Lee's comments about Michael being dead or not. What's dead? So, we can't be as certain as, at least for me, I'm not as certain as I was prior to that interview. Prior to that interview, I felt like he was probably going to die, but now I'm coming back even further and saying, I don't know, 50-50, maybe. Yeah, and I know a lot of people think, oh, it's Halloween Ends. Of course he's going to die. It means he's going to end. I wouldn't jump to that conclusion so quickly. I wouldn't, especially after Jamie Lee said what she said. There's dead and then there's dead. But what's dead in a Michael Myers universe? So I'm telling you, that is very revealing. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to go all in on that. But if that was to happen, and let's just say it did happen, it's not going to be Hawkins. I just don't see Hawkins being the one that pulls the trigger, like it says here, or to puts the final killing blow to Michael Myers. However, I do think he will play a significant part in it, because he does have this redemption story that's going on here. He's going to want to be able to do what he didn't do the first time. The writing's on the wall. This story's been written in such a way that it just pulls us that direction. So, but I don't think he's going to have the final say. I think that he will be involved in getting Michael either killed or nearly killed, and he'll be like the article said. I think he'll be a distraction. Maybe he goes out there and willingly gives himself up as a trap to make sure that Allison and Laurie can get him, or maybe just Allison at that time. We'll see how things go in the movie, but I think that makes a lot of sense. And by having Michael focused on Frank, so if Frank goes out here as a distraction, and remembering how he was spared, Michael, Halloween Ends would be less predictable for everyone involved. And after all, everyone is expecting the Strodes to lead the revenge quest, meaning, there's no need to subvert expectations. And it would also give Frank a personal journey, as he accidentally killed his partner in 1978, shooting him after trying to hit Michael, right? We know that tragic ending. And Frank has had an extra edge that's been building for decades, which is in contrast to the impulsive Laurie, she's just ready to. Laurie's flying off the handle. Even in kills, she's got wounds there. She's stitches. She doesn't care. She's grabbing a knife. Let's go. Very, very impulsive. But this is also hinted at when Frank tells Laurie at the hospital, revealing he's got a more cerebral connection to the killer for sure. And so ultimately, Frank being the lead kind of comes off as Frankenstein trying to stop the monster he helped create, which would provide a more nuanced story than just having Laurie go after revenge. Because let's be honest, and I've thought about this many times too. I'm like, I think Allison is going to be probably bent on revenge. Her mom is dead. Her grandmother has been attacked, and all this has happened. I believe that Allison's the one 4 years later now that is going to be more focused on killing him. But also, we've got Frank. And Frank, I think, has also got death on the brain for Michael Myers. I really do. So basically, my final thoughts on this, guys, is this. Pay attention to Frank Hawkins. I believe there's more to his character than possibly meets the eye in Halloween Ends. I think he's going to be a key player, not just a supporting role. He's going to be a significant player in this dynamic with Laurie Strode and Allison and Lindsay. I do believe that Frank Hawkins will have an opportunity to make amends, to right the ship and kill Michael Myers, but maybe not himself. Maybe be a part of the plan that kills him or that puts him near death. And that's how I see it going down. All right, everyone. I want to know what you think about the idea of Hawkins leading the charge to kill Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. I want to hear your opinions, your thoughts, your ideas, and theories about what you expect to see in the movie. So start leaving your comments below right now so we can discuss it together. Well, that is it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Halloween Ends and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.